guys, thank you for joining me for this video. It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. So right now what you're seeing is us going through North Texas. North Texas is very beautiful and it's very different from South Texas, Houston, Austin. The homes are bigger, you know, the McMansion kind of feel came out of this area. McMansions and all that jazz is definitely North Texas. So in this neighborhood you're seeing, in some of this video, you're seeing a lagoon. That's right, a whole lagoon. People are surfboarding out there, paddleboarding, they're kayaking, kids are swimming on the other side, and there's actual sand of a beach. The homes in this neighborhood go for $500,000 to $2 million. Now there's other neighborhoods you see us driving around that are in the $700,000 range. Why am I showing you this video? These are master plan communities up near Frisco area of Texas. And the reason it's so important for you to see it is a lot of the people that could work from home and made $100,000 a year or made $150,000 a year, they got out of Dodge. They're not in downtown Dallas. They ain't in Fort Worth. They're all the way out in Frisco. They're all the way out in the suburbs of Texas, living in these very big master plan communities. The reason it's so important is in these master plan communities, only their kids will go to school. They don't have to worry about people busting in kids from other neighborhoods or kids from apartments coming over there. They will only have children that are other millionaires' children. Now, again, everybody in these neighborhoods ain't millionaires, but for the record, most of them will be living in millionaire homes. Yes, the property taxes will be higher. Yes, you see kids driving around in golf carts. I don't know if you can see it through all the video. But yeah, this is the layout and the design that many people seek when they move to Texas. If you're a kid making a ton of money in California, you sell your house and you come to Texas and get a 5-bedroom, 4-bath house with a atrium and a wine cellar inside of it for $700,000, you and your wife are like, peace out, we're out of California. Now, I really want people to understand the point of these houses is not to just be big and huge and have crazy light bills, because there are a lot of solar power out here in Texas. It is just the proximity factor. I keep trying to explain to you guys about the proximity factor, how these people will not live near you. They will not live near you. They will not be near you. Their kids will go to different schools. They will have computers in their schools. They will have access to opportunities that you will not have. We are very much planning for an America where kids don't interact with certain classes and certain groups, except for when they go where? Downtown to party, Elm Street, or if they go to college. Now, even then, I predict in the next 10 years, college is going to be a very segmented place. You'll have the very, very wealthy go to college, and then you'll have kids on full scholarship. There won't be this loan system. I think we're going to do a vast revamp of the loan system, and we will not be giving out loans like we've done before in the previous generations. There will be some kind of concession that the government will give on these loans, and people will not be getting $100,000 racks, $150,000 racks, unless they have a parent co-sign, they give blood, their first child, all this good craziness. Now, I just want to show you these houses in the inside of this one house as we went on a vacation, kind of touring houses on a Sunday, and because I know the value of home ownership. And when I talk to young men and women who say, oh, there's no opportunities in Dallas, I can't find a job anywhere, I absolutely know what they're telling me, that they're on the other side of town. They're on the bad side of town. They live in a place that lacks opportunity, or they're looking for warehouse work. And honestly, we need people with trades. We need people with skills. We need people who do know how to work a computer, who do know how to do tech writing, who do know how to do accounting from the computer. A lot of these homes that you're seeing have offices in them, built-in offices, built-in studies. Why? Because a lot of people that could work from home did. They didn't have to drive into Dallas, even though it's 30 miles away. They didn't have to drive into downtown Frisco. They didn't have to drive into Arlington or Fort Worth or any of these places. They could work from home with the proper internet and the proper security, cybersecurity at their house. Please, these people aren't going back to work as normal. Over 61 million drivers are off the road now. What does that mean? That means more people than ever are going to be working from home. And again, this recession that we're experiencing right now has been absolutely 100% devastating to people who work in what we would consider low wage jobs. Again, everybody gets mad when I use that phrase, but I'm talking about people who are servers, who are, anything related to food right now. Now, again, I'm going to dispute where Yelp is saying 60% of businesses are closed permanently. This is inaccurate. You know why this is inaccurate? Because Yelp, of all people, are in the money game of if a business doesn't pay them or doesn't participate in Uber Eats and Uber Eats, DoorDash, and a couple of other ones, or won't pay Yelp to show their updated hours, they get shown as closed. Several of my favorite restaurants here in Austin, Texas, were shown as closed on Yelp, but they were completely open. And when you mention it to them, like, hey, you guys, you might want to update your Google and your online stuff. Oh, we won't pay, so they won't change it. So Yelp is making lots of money showing that businesses are closed. So everyone's running around quoting that 60% of businesses are closed, restaurant businesses are closed permanently. This is actually inaccurate. And this is why I hate sound bites, and this is why I hate people just copying each other's YouTube channels without actually researching the information. 60% of food businesses are not closed, okay? We may be somewhere in the middle of 30 to 40%, but definitely not 60%. People are in various stages of open with adjusted hours and just don't want to pay Google or don't want to pay Yelp. So that's the difference on there, right? Same thing with the game of paying Yelp to get rid of bad reviews. That's out there. Another thing, when you see me talk about these neighborhoods and these communities and me trying to get myself into a golfing community, yes, I only want my kids interacting with people who have no need to rob them, no need to beat them up at school, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to be bullied, and then I can go, sue that other parent or put them a restraint on them or homeschool them. And people think I'm being so joking about that, but there is a true danger in kids going to public school and getting beat up. And I'm not here for it. I will not live in a neighborhood where my kids will have to be there for it. Now, will I donate to all kind of charities and low income schools to help improve situations? Of course. But we're going to come into a real society where you have people who live on this side of town and live very well, and people who parents are struggling because they made hard choices in this recession. And, they're talking about people lining up at food banks. Oh my God, people are so food insecure. Again, you're getting back to a culture where people are going to have to learn how to cook. No McDonald's, no Wendy's. Actually, your mom gets her butt in the kitchen and cooks chicken and rice and beans. And again, people hate that of me. People are starving in America. America is suffering from mass obesity. So are there people eating empty calories? For sure. Are there people suffering from malnutrition because they're not getting the right combination of food? For sure. But that's where vitamins, other nutrients come into play that people aren't taking a part of. I'm showing you these houses in this video on loop because I think it's important for you to see there's opportunity in America. It's up to you it's up to you, baby, to go capture it. If you're not willing to go out there and slay dragons so that your family can live in a nice neighborhood where your kids can ride around in a golf cart around the neighborhood or go to the local beach lagoon, they have a freaking lagoon. They're going to have the experience of going to a little mini beach in their own neighborhood. And this is a huge thing. You can go look it up. It's a lagoon in Frisco, Texas. Definitely go look it up. It's very big. And there's several communities doing this very same thing where they're going to start making these elaborate pools and systems be a part of your HOA, and you have a little name badge and you get to go in there and you get to take your friends and family. And why the name badge with the picture on it? The name badge with the picture on it so you can't be Airbnb-ing your bad boy house out. And those houses are bad boys. I tell you, man, you literally can see some of those houses that had internal wine cellars and atriums. And, people are saying, oh, divorce is going to go up, Eric. It's going to go through the roof. No, not really. No. See, people are going to get in these big old houses and they're going to get in their separate space and not get on each other's nerves because financially it doesn't make sense to divorce. And again, let's really correct those divorce numbers because I know y'all love those numbers. The correction on those numbers are it's less than 20% if you're college educated. That means even if you went to one day at community college, it's less than 20%. Now, why is that? Because most people who attended college get married either their senior year or they get married after 25. Anybody getting married from 18 to 23, the divorce rate is like 50. I think it's like 75%. It's ridiculously high. And again, it's because you're very young when you got married. And I know people argue about what's young, but young, most communities is 18, 19. Okay. Now then, for a first-time marriage between 28 to 32, it's 9% divorce. 9% for first-time marriage, 28 to 32. So again, a lot of people are feeding you these lies out here, and I'm not here to lie to you. Women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. A lot of people are trying to avoid being responsible. And seeing these big old houses means you're going to have to be responsible for some bills, and you can't try to feed people, I'm a minimalist. You know, we just out here being minimalist, just me by myself on my couch with some chili. Yeah, that's not gonna play in about 2-3 years. You're just gonna be called broke. Because I've been in some of these houses and they're elegantly spaced. They're not overcrowded. A lot of people put bare minimum design things in the house. And again, this is for people who want to have kids, want to have family over. A lot of people are complaining, well, I would never live in a house that big, Erica. And the truth is, the matter is you can't afford it. And number two, a lot of y'all will have your mothers and fathers moving into your home at a late age. And that's why these houses are important. These people are preparing themselves for grandparents living in the mother-in-law suite, because a lot of these houses have mother-in-law suites where she has her own little sitting area and her couch off, and it closes off on its own little section. And people don't think that's important, but it's valuable. When you start talking about home health care costs, you talk about your mom just need a little bit more attention, just a little bit more care, doesn't necessarily need to be put in a home. These are perfect options. And this is what you're going to see in our economy. You're going to see people who made the very bright decision to at least have decent credit to qualify, but to also get the stacks up enough to get into these homes. Now, I don't want you getting in one of these homes and working yourself to death. That's not what I want. I want you in here comfortably because you have rentals in another state, because there will always be people who want to rent, and you have other smaller business investments that bring in dividends monthly. That's my goal. And I tell a lot of people, if I had to start all over, I'd basically have the YouTube channel and a blog that I drove paid traffic to for the year 1 through 5. And then I took that money every year and I bought a house or 2 houses every year in a low income place. Because if I bought a $30K house and it's paying $750 a month, that's $8,400 a year. That house would pay off itself in 2.5 years. So I would buy 2 houses a year in a market like Detroit or Cleveland. And then at the end of 10 years, we're talking about, I mean, even at the end of 5 years, we're talking about like $80K a year. If you're buying 2 houses a year, you know? So you're talking about big money that will take care of you for a long term. And a lot of times when I meet people who live in these type of homes, that's what they're dealing with. They have rental income, they have some dividend income, and they have a job that pays well, that still needs their attention daily, but pays well. And trust me, if you're a wife living in one of these neighborhoods and your husband somehow closed that office door, I'm working to stay in that neighborhood, oh, she closing that office door and she popping kids' butts if they go bother him. So anyway, I just had to share that with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the views. This is your girl, Erica, from the Classy Climb blog. Let's all live well. Let's invest. And look, we've got the gratitude journal coming out here shortly. You should definitely see it in the links. And if you want to ever invest in any of our affiliates that we always support on the channel, whether it's Todd Capital stock investing or it's a net worth stock class, a lot of you really need opportunities in the stock market. I recommend them highly. Also, if you want to check out Mindset Matters Tees, we're doing a lot of giveaways over the 31 days of Christmas. So look out, that's coming up. All right, you guys, this is your girl, Erica, Classy Climb blog, author of the Smartphone Millionaire book, How to Invest in People, Businesses, and Real Estate from the Palm of Your Hand.